Good evening and welcome, everybody. It is, well, we're going to stop that. We're not giving away that quickly here. It is Tuesday, June 18th, just about 7:19. Hope everyone able to get out and vote today. 4 minutes late on the show here. I was at the Guthrie City Council meeting, and there was a pretty interesting topic, and I waited as long as I could. Still didn't get all the final vote on that, so I apologize for being just a little late. But we are here to talk some of election results in the early voting and the absentee votes are in. We'll have those here in just a second. Now we await all those machines taken to the Logan County Election Board office, put into the system, and they will come in here as they come in. We will update the graphics throughout the night. I am the one-person show, so I will be clicking buttons and inserting buttons or inserting numbers. So be sure to comment questions, comments on the show here tonight. We appreciate that. It makes it go a lot faster where I'm not just talking about myself or talking to myself. This is all about interaction here. This is a show for all of us here to take in here on this Tuesday night. There are 30 precincts across the county here in Logan County, and a big one that we'll be talking about here tonight is the District 2 County Commissioner for Logan County, also the Logan County Court Clerk. And the numbers that I show you on screen, especially at the beginning, will be Logan County numbers. There are state representatives for District 32, 33, 38, and 41. Those numbers on the screen are Logan County numbers only. There's some other counties that come into play. I will update those verbally as we go through the night as well. But the numbers that you see on the screen tonight will be strictly Logan County. So District 38, which is Garfield, there's a bunch of counties in there, and we'll look at that here in a little bit. So we'll have those state rep races, and then also the corporation commissioner. I did some homework on the corporation commissioner thing today. It's interesting. I'll show those notes here in a little bit to help you out. I thought it was interesting on some of the things that I saw there. And a lot of people, what's corporation commissioner? What? And it doesn't seem like a big deal. It's on my ballot. I'll vote for it. But it is kind of a big deal, especially if you're interested in your gas and electric bill increasing or not increasing. So anyway, we await the numbers. These will be coming throughout the county, and some will get in pretty quick. The county commissioner, District 2, is 11 precincts. The court clerk is obviously all 30. So they will just trickle in. It is, I would say, we will have a pretty good idea of what the numbers close to being finalized will be. I would say, I'm usually pretty good at this. I would think we might know about the County 2 District Commissioner at about, I would say, around 8:30-ish. It might take a little bit longer for the court clerk because remember, those numbers and those machines information have to come from Mulhall and Langston and Coyle, whereas the fairgrounds here in Guthrie, they'll get theirs a lot quicker. So, but I have some good information on the county District 2 County Commissioner, because we did this about a year ago, and I got some interesting numbers from there. But all that being said, and I see some of your comments coming in. Rhonda says, watching this, well, it's making sure the comments are going to be working here tonight. Central Oklahoma Channel 1. Oh, I got to fix my comments here in just a second. But watching, I see everyone's coming in there. Ira, what's the expected timeline on final Logan County election results as you've seen historically? Yeah, there you go. So I would think hopefully before 8:30, but that would be my best guess. Okay, let's take a look at the big one. I think everyone is here, and all of them, but I think the District 2 Commissioner has really had the most talk, if you will, and we'll have those numbers officially here because there's no other county obviously there. So Stevie says, thank you, Chris. When I get a second, I got to go to the computer and fix the comments, but we'll get that here in just a few moments. Let's take a look at the numbers, and we will start. Also, there's one proposition in Mulhall, and that is for a 1% sales tax increase. They are at 3%, and the voters there are asking if to go up to 4%. I think that would probably pass, but we'll see how that turns out here. Okay, here we go. Here are the early numbers for the District 2 County Commissioner. As you see on your screen, Give me 1 second here. I got to get back up to my notes here. So Floyd Coppin with the early and absentee votes coming in. There's 0 of 11 precincts coming in so far. But Floyd Coppin got 47 early votes. Charlie Meadows got 41 early votes. And Mike Ferguson got 32 early votes. Voters who voted through mail in this race, 26 of them voted for Floyd, 17 for Charlie, and 1 early vote for Mike Ferguson. You add all those numbers up, and those are the early numbers in the District 2 County Commissioner race. And I can kind of get into it here. Remember, a year ago, June 13th, 2023, there was a special election held. And one more thing before I get to that, as you see the updated numbers here on the bottom of your screen, those will be rotating every 5 seconds, something I've added new this year. So talking about District 2 County Commissioner race, it's a 3-person race. And if one of the candidates gets 50% of the vote plus 1, they are in office. There's no Democrat or Independent or Libertarian in this race. So if a candidate tonight gets 50% of the vote plus 1 vote, 50% plus 1, they are elected to their to a term which begins in January of 2025. If none of the candidates are able to get a 50% plus 1 vote, then the top 2 voters of this election will go to a primary runoff, which will be held in August. And the election a year ago between Charlie Meadows, Floyd Coppin, and Wayne Elder, Charlie Meadows obviously won that election, but he did not get 50%, but it was a special election, so it was a winner-take-all. If the numbers are similar to like this year, there would be last year, there would be a runoff in August. And there are 11 precincts this year, just like there were last year. Interesting enough, Charlie won 4 of the 11. Wayne Elder won 4 of the 11, and Floyd won 2 of the 11. There was a tie between Charlie and Wayne. Charlie only winning 4 of the 11 polling precincts. However, Charlie won 4 of the 5 biggest precincts. And that's where I got those numbers here. And we'll take a look at how they might compare as they come in, and something we can talk about here throughout the night. But last year in the special election, there was a little over 1,100 votes. So we'll see how that turns out here tonight. We'll take a look at the court clerk. There you see Cheryl Watt-Smith and Janice Cruz DeLisa. And the early votes already have it there for Cheryl with 296. And of the early votes for this race, 203 voted for Cheryl and 71 voted for Janice. The absentee mailing, 93 for Cheryl, and Janice had 20. So you add all those numbers up, and it equals to those percentages early on. State representatives race, District 31, Colin Duell did not get an opponent, so he will get another 2-year term. There are other races as well. And I also should note as well that County Clerk Troy Cole for Logan County and Logan County Sheriff Damon Devereaux were up for election this year. They did not draw an opponent, so they get another term, which will begin in January. So congratulations to them. Okay, and here are the state representative races. You kind of see them on the bottom there. Kevin Wallace, Jim Shaw, Jason Schilling, Kevin Wallace, state rep from Lincoln County. He's got a little bit of an area, obviously, in Logan County with also mostly Logan, Lincoln, and Payne County. And he is the incumbent, and he is the chair of the A and B board, which is a huge board in charge of the budget for the state representatives. And he has, those are the early numbers, obviously, there. District 33, John Talley, he is the incumbent, and he is taking on Molly Jenkins, who I believe lives in eastern Logan County. But this district here, District 33, is Logan and Payne County, as you see the early numbers there. This district basically is Post Road to the east, and State Highway 105 to the north. So this is a good part of eastern Logan County. District 38 is John Pfeiffer is the incumbent, and he's a Deputy Floor Leader for the House of Representatives, and he is being challenged tonight by Marvin Goodman. Many people know that name here in Logan County, former District 1 County Commissioner for 2 terms, taking on John Pfeiffer in this District 38 race. District 38 is Logan, Noble, Kay, Grant, and Garfield counties. And most of this area for Marvin is going to be new to his area. He lives there in around the Cedar Valley area, and to the north, all the way up to the Kansas border line is where that starts. And when Marvin was a commissioner, most of his was below Cedar Valley in that area. So he had to go out and talk to new people, new area there. So those are the races. Oh, one more. Denise Crosswhite Hader, she's the incumbent for District 41. And that is just a small area in western Oklahoma. In fact, it's Logan County. It's Highway 74 to Cashion from Prairie Grove to Waterloo. And there's only one precinct there. And I mentioned earlier, that number is not going to look good. I got to redo that. But I can tell you the Mall Hall had one person go into the election board and file, and they voted yes. They voted yes for that one. So, all right, let's begin refreshing here, see if any of the results are coming in. And again, I apologize. I'll be looking here and typing, so bear with me. The other one we'll talk about here in a little bit, and when we have a little bit more time to talk about it, is the Corporation Commission. I don't have the graphic for that. That's a statewide race, and we'll kind of get those numbers a little bit later on. But I can tell you Brian Bingman has 53% of that vote. And we'll talk more about Corporation Commission. It's very interesting on that, but we got county things that we want to get here first. Also, Frank Lucas and Tom Cole, U.S., in Washington, D.C. are on the ballot here. Looks like Frank Lucas, already 75% of the vote. He should cruise easily here tonight. All right, looks like we do have a couple of precincts coming in. Okay, I really want to concentrate on our District 2 County Commissioner and our Court Clerk. And let's get this in here real quick. We do have our Court Clerk. We have 3 of the 30 precincts now reporting, and Cheryl is going to be increasing her lead in this race in the early parts of this, as she now has 77% of the votes so far. And these numbers will update here in just a few seconds. It takes a second here. And we do have one precinct coming in for District 2. And I'll be able, on this race, I'll be able to go inside the numbers a little bit more than the other ones. And where the votes are coming from, and kind of have an idea of what that looks like. We'll have that here in just a second. And it's always important when you're entering numbers to make sure they are right on here. So that's why I'm going to make sure. Okay, let's see if District 2 has updated. It has. So precincts 1 of 11, they're on the left side of your screen. And Floyd Coffin right now with the early lead by 12 votes, 95 to 83 over Charlie Meadows. Mike Ferguson with 38 votes. That's the early one so far. In that Court Clerk, 3 of the 30 are reporting, and you see the numbers there. Cheryl 521 and Janice with 155. District 2 County Commissioner, I hope everyone was able to watch the forum. We really got some nice viewers for that, both there and online as well. But I mentioned earlier, Charlie last year winning 4 of the 5 biggest precincts. Those big precincts for Charlie last year were at the polling precinct at Woodcrest, Elks Lodge, and Charter Oak Baptist Church. And that's the big area that Charlie really concentrated in, and it paid off for him a year ago as he drew some big numbers in that race. Mulhall increased past too early tell. The Mulhall, the one person voted yes. Did I put that in there wrong? One person. I know one person voted yes. Oh, I apologize. Thank you. I did put it in there wrong. They did vote yes, so my words are probably more important tonight. But yes, thank you for that. There's my one mistake for the entire night. Thank you for catching it. Who helped me out? April. Thank you, April. All right, so we got a lot of folks watching on Facebook as well. We're watching this on YouTube as well. YouTube's probably the best place for find stuff a lot easier, archive-wise. But no matter where you're watching, appreciate that. All right, let's do another check here. We'll put in some of the other numbers here so that we get it updated as fast as possible. You know, working really hard to get the court clerk, which we have an update on the court clerk. And let's see here. And still no updated numbers on District 2 just yet. Okay, so let's just, so I did a lot of work on this, so let's just see if how this works here. So District 2, as I mentioned, has one precinct in, and see if the election board is going to be, it's loading. See if we're going to have real numbers. Usually I get the real numbers after the election. Yes. I need to put this to the side here. So the biggest turnout so far is polling place 211. Got my sheet here, 211. That's going to be the Hispanic Baptist Church. And last year in this election, Charlie Meadows got 51 of the 95 votes there. And so this year, he has gotten 50 of 123. So Floyd Kaufman has a big difference at that polling location this year. So Floyd last year got 23 total votes from that precinct. This year, Floyd has 45. So he increased 22 yes votes, where Charlie decreased by 1 vote in that specific polling place. So that's kind of the numbers we're going to be able to look at to see where and if Floyd makes a impact from a year ago. And remember, Floyd last year got 27.8% of the vote, where Charlie got 46.8. Wayne Elder was at 25.27. So that's kind of what I'll be looking at here. We'll be diving more into it, obviously, a little bit later on as well as they come in. So. All right. I know we got at least one watch party watching tonight. Hello, everybody watching. Good luck to your race this evening. All right. We have an update in District 38 between John Pfeiffer and Marvin Goodman. Pfeiffer, a big favorite in this one here. He's been at the House of Reps for I think 10 years now. This is, I believe, his last term that he can go for. Remember, term limits are now 12 years, and I think this would be number 11 and 12 for him. Didn't see a whole lot of campaigning as of late from Pfeiffer. Did see some stuff on social media from his camp. From my understanding, Marvin had a mailer as well go out. So, it's one of those deals. However you fall politically, John Pfeiffer is going to have a lot of more income than Marvin Goodman will. Marvin's more of a grassroots. Don't take any money from any lobbyists. Don't take money from anybody except for citizens. And whereas Pfeiffer has been in the House for many, many years, and so he gets a lot of PAC money, Political Action Committee, and so most people don't care. Most people don't care about that kind of stuff, but if you get into the weeds, your grassroots people just despise that. And the other side of it, well, if you're going to give me money, then I will take it for my campaign and use it. Of course, the grassroots people would say that's who you're bought and paid for. You're going to vote for those people. So it's a political game. You can do all the weeds if you want. I'm just playing both sides of it. You don't need my opinion on what works or not works. It's just whatever you think works. So, but that came to mind when I was looking at their contributions stuff filed by the state. So you can share it in the comments if you want, but I'll be glad to read them. Let me see if I can fix my comment thing real quick so we can put the comments on the screen. Okay, so if I push this button, it goes off, and that comes back on. Push that back up. All right, we are in business now. I worked, by the way, just a small pat. I worked on the new. Oops, I worked on the new graphics this year. I upgraded my graphic game this year to look a little bit more professional. So just a small pat. I'm kind of proud of myself on that one. So had to tell a few people before the show how happy I was to see that. So let's see here. Luke Young, Fire Chief Luke Young from Woodcrest Fire Department. Watching on. Thank you, Luke. Awesome. Okay. Back to the numbers. Back why we're all here to look at. Let's see if this has updated. So far, District 2, I mean, that's the one we'll talk about here tonight. We'll take a look at the other ones. And if there's any particular race that you want to look at, just put it in the comments, and I can definitely look at that here in a second. But numbers are going to come in fast here in just a few moments. And court clerk. All right, we got an update on the court clerk. This is a race that Cheryl has held a lot so far in this one, and she continues to her numbers continue to increase. I'll give you some information on the court on Cheryl here in just a second, as those numbers will populate. Cheryl's been with the court clerk's office for many, many years, and her last election was in 2020, and she won that one by 66.83% of the vote. She was appointed in 2016. She was the first deputy, and so she has held this office since 2016 as the elected official in that office. And those are the updated numbers. And Cheryl right now at 78.24%. Both ran great campaigns. Both spoke well at the forum. Either one would be a great choice in this one here. Janice has some experience as well with that, and I was able to talk to them at the same time at the forum, and both cordial, very nice. I think they also spoke over in the Coyle area, and we were trying to do who goes first and second. I had all the numbers to do it politically correct. So, but Cheryl goes, I went first last time. Would you like to go first? So, just exactly how it should be ran, and so kudos to both of them. For filing and running nice campaigns. So good job. Okay. And, we do have an update on District 2, County Commissioner. We have 3 of the 11 coming in. And this might take us through the entire night here. This is going to be close. But do remember, District 2 County Commissioner, if someone doesn't get 50% plus 1 of the vote, there will be a runoff. And that runoff will be in August 27th, which I think that will also be the same date. Well, I know it will be. It'll be the same date as Guthrie Public Schools will go out for a bond election. So that will be possibly another big election night. It will be. All right, District 2, we should have 3 of the 11 in. Okay, internet is working fast tonight. So there you have the numbers. Floyd Copeland, 163 votes. But if you see the percentage right now, 44.54% of the vote. And I look back on some of the numbers. I remember when Sheriff Damon Devereaux ran for the first time. There was 8 of those sheriff candidates. And Jim Bauman actually got, I think, 45%, and Damon was around 30% of the votes on the primary night. Obviously, in the runoff, Damon was able to reverse that, and that's happened several times. So just because one candidate wins tonight does not mean guaranteed. They got a few more months, and it's always interesting when there's a 3-person race and the 2 move on, who that third candidate endorses, if they endorse, and that could be those swing votes there. So that will be interesting too if it does become a 2-man race, and it certainly does look at this point it'll be a 2-man race. Mike Ferguson, a former county commissioner up in the Kansas area. I've talked to him a couple times. Really nice gentleman. I think he understands the job really well. I've seen him at a couple of Chamber of Coffee in Guthrie. Super nice guy. All right. Oh, thank you, Christy. Christy is watching from Kansas. Awesome. Luke Young, D2 is the big one. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to be. I promise you I'll be concentrating heavily on that one. Thank you guys for the nice comments on the graphics. I'm getting better at it. It's a big part of what should happen on stuff like this, so thank you for that. Okay. Let's go back and try this one more time. I need to start updating the other ones as well. But again, these numbers that you see are just Logan County only. Let me see if my Mulhall folks have made their way here yet. Nope, not yet. They only have 1 precinct up there, and so that will give us a lot on their sales tax proposal for 1% increase. Brian Bingman, the Republican for Corporation Commissioner, he was on everybody's ballot here in Logan County. He is winning it right now by 52% of the vote. So again, a three-person race, he would move on if those numbers stay true. I got a bunch of notes on that, and I really hope I can get to that here in just a little bit. But first, Frank Lucas, 74% of the vote. Let's get number 32 updated here real quick. And which is the state rep for the folks in Eastern. It says 9 of 21, so maybe that's all of them there. But with the, thinking out loud, sorry, let's get this in here, 1210. And 260. Right now, Kevin Wallace, the incumbent, early numbers, is trailing Jim Shaw, who has come in. I've learned a little bit about him the other day, and I think he got the attention of State Rep Kevin Wallace because Kevin Wallace had some TV commercials that I saw in there. So let's see here. Update this number here real quick between Molly Jenkins and John Talley. And I think to make things much easier, I think I will go ahead and put all the numbers on here for these races, because there's only going to be a handful of precincts in Logan County. Get this in here real quick, and then I will update District 2 and the court clerk. Molly. Always got to put the numbers in right. And right now, we take a look at the incumbent, Kevin Wallace, trailing right now. It's early. And also the incumbent, John Talley, District 33, right now is trailing. So interesting. And you can probably kind of tell I really like the local, county, and state government. There's a lot of federal stuff out there, and I see it all the time on Facebook. I don't follow that quite as much. Just something that I haven't got into, which I kind of glad I pay attention, but not like I do to these races here. Just something about your local officials that you can talk to, that you can pick up a phone and call or text, means a big deal to me. All right, let's update District 38, which is John Pfeiffer and Marvin Goodman. And this is going to be for, I think, all of the precincts. So let's just fix that. So I lied. For all the numbers you see on the state rep, that's going to be for all the precincts here. So get this here. It'll make my job easier as well. And hopefully the internet's working fast. We'll see. District 38. Okay, it hasn't updated yet because it's right there. That has updated. There you go. John Pfeiffer leads Marvin Goodman, 70% of the votes in a winner-take-all. No Democrat, no Independent, no Libertarian in that race. So that is a winner-take-all. Let me update this one last one here for number 40, District 41. Again, only one precinct in Logan County. All right, Denise Crosswhite-Hader. She's the incumbent, and she has a lead of 201 to 134. It will be on your screen here momentarily. And let's get to the court clerk. That has updated as well. One day I will have an assistant with me. I don't want to bother somebody on this night, but it would help me put in the numbers, and we can. I won't be stopping as much, but that's what we have here. So, all right, court clerk. And let's go ahead and check County Commissioner District 2. We have an update there. Okay, District 2, we are halfway home. 6 of the 11 are in. Let me get the information in here real quick. You'll see the graphic here in just a second, and then we'll dissect it just a little bit more. All right. Get the numbers right, especially this one, right? Okay. And I'm going ahead and dive into this one here a little bit closer. All right, District 2, we should have 6 of the 11. Oh, has not updated yet. Sometimes it goes really fast, sometimes it goes really slow, and there are the updated numbers in this District 2 County Commissioner race. Floyd so far has led the entire way when you count the absentee and you count the early votes. And right now he's winning Election Day as well with 41.91% of the vote. Do remember, you gotta have that 50% plus one vote to move on. Okay, so let's break this down here. A big precinct I see here is 204, which is the Guthrie Church of the Nazarene. That is the church over in Guthrie, just past Love's, before you go to 105, that big church there. That is the Church of the Nazarene on Midwest Boulevard, which is precinct 204. And precinct 204, last year, Floyd Kaufman won that one pretty easily. Between Floyd and Charlie. Wayne was actually second. Charlie was third. But last year, Floyd Kaufman was able to get 112 votes. This year, Floyd was able to get 232 votes. So this is going to be a larger election than the special election, obviously, as you have state reps races in there. But last year at the Nazarene Church, Charlie was able to get 49 votes. This year, he's able to get 87. And let's see, Wayne did pretty well in that one. At this precinct 204, Wayne was able to get 97 votes. This year, Mike Ferguson only 56 votes. And that number is going to be stronger for Floyd. That's the one he had to win, obviously had to win. Not only had to win that one, but he had to win that one big and he did here tonight in precinct 204, as there was 375 total votes there. Another big one, here we go, precinct 207, which is the Charter Oak Baptist Church. Last year, Charlie was able to get 217 votes. Floyd had 70. This year, Charlie once again has a huge edge in that one. Charlie this year at the Charter Oak Baptist Church, 224 votes to Floyd Kaufman's 113. Floyd Kaufman actually finishes third at the Charter Oak Baptist precinct, as Mike Ferguson with 119 votes. Not too surprising there. Both Charlie and Mike Ferguson live down in that area, so that is their, quote, home base, if you will. So no surprise there with those numbers. It'll obviously depend on some other precincts. And another one, another smaller one, if you will, precinct 208, the Abel Church. Not very many votes there. But last year, Charlie got 14. This year, only 10. Floyd only got 10 votes at the Abel Church a year ago. This year, 31. So plus 21 from a year ago at that location. We've already talked about the Hispanic Church with Charlie getting more votes, but Floyd did better at that precinct. So those are the intimate, quick numbers there, though. So Kathy Hayes watching on Facebook. We are watching Floyd's Watch Party. All right. Hello to everybody at Floyd's Watch Party. Stuart Little loves the background. Looks like you're about to be abducted by aliens and probed. Oh. Not in Guthrie. We're safe in Guthrie. Downtown studios here in Guthrie. Okay. But appreciate the comment, Stuart. And take that off. Okay. Let's get back to the numbers here. Do a quick update, see if anything has passed on. Okay. Brian Bingman, 53% for Corporation Commission. That is for the Republican Corporation Commission. There is a Democrat, Harold Spradling. There is a Libertarian, Chad Williams. So this will go to November for the Corporation Commission. But tonight, Brian Bingham is trying to get 50% plus one vote. He's going up against Russell Ray, 55. Bunch of notes, but real quick, Russell Ray filed to run for Corporation Commission, and just a few days after that had a heart attack after filing for office. I hear he's doing much, much better, but the Corporation Commission right now has Todd Hyatt and Kim David. Todd Hyatt was the former Speaker of the State House, and Kim David was the former floor leader of the Senate. Brian Bingman, career politician, Oklahoma Secretary of State. He was appointed by Kevin Stitt, and he was also the Speaker pro tem. So Corporation Commission, which OG&E and ONG, they go to these meetings to try to get an increase on people's bills, and they have a vote. And one of these people will be replacing Bob Anthony, who has termed out, and Bob Anthony was really a watchdog, if you will, for the consumer. And there's a lot of times it was 2-1 vote, and Bob Anthony was always that guy for the consumer on most things there. The thing with Corporation Commission, I know we're going to move on, and I might talk about this later, but the thing with Corporation Commission, we won't know till after elections, but is OG&E and ONG and all these energy people and all the utilities, how much they donate money to their campaign. But I'll get off of that. That's a little state politics. Might be another night, but interesting stuff. Okay, I promise not to get too far into that. Frank Lucas, 73%. Kevin Wallace, we can update this real quick. This is 17 out of 21. And okay, wow. This is interesting on the Kevin Wallace. It'll update here in just a second on your screen. Make sure it's still going there. Molly Jenkins and John Talley. We get these numbers in real quick, and then after I get this one here, we'll go back to the court clerk and the District 2 commissioner. The incumbent's having a hard time tonight for state rep. Except for John Pfeiffer. John Pfeiffer looks like he's going to be okay. And that is 34 of 44. Okay, those numbers will update here momentarily. Okay, let's get to the court clerk. So these numbers are coming in. We might be done by 8:30. We'll see. 22 of the 30 are in for the court clerk, and I think we can almost get ready to call this race between Cheryl Watt-Smith and Janice Cruz de Elisa. See if these numbers have updated court clerk. 22 of 30. Those numbers are the most updated numbers right there. Cheryl is 78% of the vote. 2016, she won it with 66% of the vote. So it does look like Cheryl will be a winner. We'll look at it here a little bit closer, but I'm almost looking good for her. All right, let's refresh this here so we can go back to District 2, County Commissioner. We had 6 of the 11 earlier. And give me just 1 second here. Here we go. Okay. District 2. I wish it was at the top. Okay. Whoa. We're almost done with District 2. 10 of the 11 are in. We got 1 precinct left to report. Let's get the numbers in here real quick. And this one is close. This one is close. The watch party. All right, let's see if the numbers are correct. It should be 10 of the 11 precincts. It is. And there are the numbers. Charlie Meadows, 38.42% of the vote. Floyd Coppin, 41.22%. And Mike Ferguson, 20.36%. So neither one of these candidates will get 50% of the vote. So it will be Charlie Meadows and Floyd Kaufman in a primary runoff, August 27th. So the campaign season continues for Floyd Kaufman and Charlie Meadows. And if you watch the forum, it was definitely interesting back and forth there. Charlie had some pointed points, if you will, in that forum. Honestly, it probably didn't look that well for Charlie. Charlie's, it's a question we've asked the last 2 years, and we asked it last year at the forum. It really had a buzz to it. Everyone was talking about the political, are you a politician? And I think that played a big role in that race. And so the question was asked again today, or asked at the forum, and Charlie has been a politician all his life. Floyd said, I'm not. And so for a lot of people, they don't like the politic part of it. Some people love it. Maybe his comments fired up the fan base. Charlie's comments fired up the fan base. But Floyd Kaufman has definitely had a big push in the last year, and now we'll see if that push continues here in the next couple of months. So we'll wait for those numbers to come in here. Just final numbers coming here in just a few seconds. Let's look at some more of the details of this race and see where those are. Last year, Charlie won precinct 205. He wins it again this year. Last year, Charlie won precinct 206. And Charlie wins that again this year. Charlie won 207 last year. He wins that one again this year. And then Charlie won precinct 211 last year, and he wins it again this year, but the numbers are a little bit closer. Floyd, you look at Floyd's campaign a year ago, he only won two of the 11 polls, precincts, excuse me. And I just clicked off it. I don't know why there we go. But so far, Floyd has won precinct 201. Floyd has won precinct 203. He has won precinct 203. Let me correct myself here real quick. Yeah, okay, I was right. Floyd won 203 and 204 last year. He did the same thing again this year. Precinct 205, Charlie's going to win that one by 21 votes, but that was much narrow margin in District 205. Only 10 vote difference in Precinct 206, which is the Elks Lodge. Floyd wins 209 this year. That one was won by Wayne Elder last year. So it looks like a lot of the Wayne Elder votes have gone to Floyd Kaufman this year. And so, as I mentioned earlier, it'll be interesting to see if Mike Ferguson endorses one of the candidates, and will those people go out to a special election and vote on August 27th, which I think a lot of people will go out and vote on August 27th because it is a school bond will also be on that on the poll. But to win special, it's never easy to win an election, but there's other races, so more people are coming out. Where there's not as many races, it's harder to get people out to vote, and so it'll be huge for for Charlie and Floyd to get their people out and vote on that day. So, okay, so let me look here one more time, see if there's an update, see if that 11th one has come in. All right. Brian Bingman, 53%. Frank Lucas, 76%. Okay, I'm going to update this one here. This Kevin Wallace down in District 32 we're talking about Kevin, I think, has been there 10 years. I think this might be his last one. Maybe he's got two. I would have to look at it. But he is the chairman of the appropriations for the House. Senator Chuck Hall, that represents a good part of Logan County, is now the chairman for the A and B on the Senate side. And so the state, which the budget's the biggest thing that the state legislature does, but you have two of them here that have ties to Logan County, but Kevin Wallace continues to trail in this one. This is definitely this is an upset if this continues on. I'm inserting those numbers right now. And I get Representative Talley's numbers in here real quick as well. Then we'll check here, see if that last precinct comes in. I don't think there's a bit for the District 2, the last precinct, no matter which one it is not going to be big enough for either candidate to get enough votes to get that 50%. So we do know that will be in an August election. All right, Molly Jenkins, 1266. And another state rep, incumbent, trailing right now. Pretty surprising, actually. Not that I had a complete insight, but that is somewhat very surprising. I mentioned earlier, I apologize, the District 38, John Pfeiffer, Marvin Goodman race. It's going to be John Pfeiffer winning that, but there is a Democrat opponent. I forgot to put that in my notes. I think he's from the Enid area, somewhere in the Enid area, Garfield County. So Pfeiffer will have to go to November, but we obviously know here in Oklahoma, the Republican has a heavy advantage there. Not that Democrats file as Republicans to have a vote, but They don't have to for that November race, but there are some Democrats who follow as Republicans so they can vote today, which is perfectly legal. Okay, update this number here real quick. Okay, and let's go back here, refresh, see if we get a court clerk, and District 2 Commissioner finalized. Almost all the way to the bottom. All right, so we got 3 more to go in the court clerk. Remember earlier we called this one a win for Cheryl Watts Smith. Now we're just waiting for the final numbers to come in. All right, and District 2 Commissioner. Did I not? I don't know why it's not saving my numbers. Okay, Logan. District 2. Okay, we're going to have final numbers here on District 2. District 2. All the numbers are in for this race. The absentee votes are in. The early votes are in. The precinct polls are in. Here come the final numbers. Wow, there was a push at the end. There was a push at the end. Again, the 50% did not get there for either one of these candidates. But when people say my vote doesn't count, there have been so many close elections, especially city council elections. There's been some county commissioner races that have come really, really close. I mean, I'm talking within single digits. And that will be the case here tonight in District 2. These are the final numbers. There was a big push for Charlie at the end, and he has the majority of the votes, but not enough votes. That number has not increased. Those numbers have not updated. There they are. There are the official numbers. Charlie Meadows gets Floyd Kaufman in the primary by 9 votes. 9 votes. But Floyd will move on with Charlie to the August 27 primary runoff election. Mike Ferguson, a very respectful 308 votes. This is a guy that did not grow up in Logan County and moved here not too long ago, but for him to get 308 votes is a very a great showing for him. And I thought he had a great forum. I think honestly, if you put a true sermon in me, I think Mike actually won the forum that night. All 3 had great points, but I thought overall that night that Mike Ferguson had won that forum. But being the new guy to the county, also he had talked about zoning. That I think that probably hurt him a little bit. He didn't mean full-pledged zoning. I talked to him afterwards. He didn't mean the full-pledged zoning, but just some organization. And I think that might have hurt just a little bit. But 308 votes in a county that you just moved into not too long ago, that's a great showing there by Mike Ferguson. But it is Charlie Meadows, the incumbent, and Floyd Kaufman going to a runoff in August. Yeah, it's sad news. Willie Mays, Baseball Hall of Famer, 2-time MVP, has died at the age of 93. True Hall of Famer for sure. So, okay, so that's the big one. That is in. Let's do this here real quick. Go to comments, make sure I'm not missing anything. Very nice here. Janice says congratulations to Cheryl. That's a great, nice on her part there. Thank you. Kathy Hayes says we are excited. Floyd increase in every area. We're excited for the runoff. Let's go. Kathy Hayes says I look forward to Mike Ferguson endorsing Floyd Kaufman. Yeah, we'll see how if that works out that way. Some people don't want to get into that and just let it go, but we'll see how Mike if he wants to do that. Those are some of the comments there. Okay, so let's update these numbers here. If you have any questions, get them into the comments. There's another race, and I have not been able to look at it, but There is appreciate the screenshot here. Greg McCourtney, getting to the Senate side of things, the Speaker Pro Tem Greg Treat has turned out he is done. The next appointed Speaker Pro Tem, Greg McCourtney, I think he's down in the Ada area. I think that's right. Right now is trailing to Jonathan Wingard by about 100 votes, just a little over 100 votes, and that's it's been a tough night for the incumbents in the state house. There is no doubt about that. All right, let's get some numbers here. See if we can get the final numbers here for the court clerk. Yes, court clerk is going to be finalized as well. So let's those are the primary races that we're covering here. We want to get these out here officially here. So and then give that just a second. We can look at real quick at District 2 one more time as we wait the numbers for the court clerk to come in. It should be 30 of 30, and there are the final numbers for the court clerk's race. We talked about that a few times earlier. Okay. So now the state reps. Let's get an update here on our state reps. By the way, I always get my 33 and 32 mixed up. District 32, which is Kevin Wallace. He has Kevin Wallace, Jim Shaw, and Jason Schilling. Only one precinct in Logan County, and Jim Shaw won the Logan County precinct, 38 votes to 21, which is what it's looking like for the other county as well. So that's just okay. So let's look at our state races here real quick, especially for our area here. I'll get these numbers updated right now. Okay, so let's start with 32. Is this finalized? Wow. Okay, let me get the numbers in here so you can see them as well. 32, which is now 21-21. This is the Kevin Wallace. All right, let's see. Give this just a few seconds here to update for 32. It should be 21 of 21. And there it is. The incumbent, the chairman of the Appropriations and Budget for the House of Representatives, loses the primary election. However, three-person race. Remember, you got to get 50% plus one vote. Jim Shaw, great showing, doesn't get 50%. So it now comes down to Kevin Wallace and Jim Shaw for the Republican runoff. The Republican runoff between Kevin Wallace and Jim Shaw. Got to tell you, that is surprising to me. It might not be to Jim Shaw and his group and his supporters, but I think statewide that is some eyebrows raising right there. All right. Bear with me real quick. I'll get number 33 in here. All right. And this one's still got a little bit more work to do. 12 of the 18 between Molly Jenkins and John Talley. 12 of the 18 precincts are in. And 1473. Okay. Give this just a few seconds to report here into the stats. Oh, yeah, there it is, updated. Perfect. 12 of the 18, John Talley. John Talley's got to win it tonight. The incumbent does, and he is trailing in that one now. I can't tell you if the large precincts have come in for the majority of this for this race. There obviously a little bit of one here in Logan County, but this is going to be primarily in Payne County. We'll see. That's interesting. All right, and next one should be the Pfeiffer and Goodman race. And John continues to have a pretty easy one in this one. And that was expected in this race here. Let's get it updated, though. This is final. Okay, so we can make these numbers final here for Pfeiffer and Goodman. And that's 28 million. John Pfeiffer did not get 28 million votes. I promise you that did not happen. All right, so we will go to District 38. This should be 44 of 44. I got to get my Mulhall. I got to see my Mulhall folks increase their sales tax. Chicken Shack might have to be redoing their books. District 38, there it is. The final number's there. And John Pfeiffer over 70% of the vote. That is certainly above supermajority. Supermajority is 60%. So there the numbers finally finalized there. So John Pfeiffer elected to another term, the deputy floor leader of the State House of Representatives. Congratulations once again on another successful campaign. And we'll update. We'll see how the other incumbent, who has a small part in Logan County, that's Denise Crosswhite Hayter. She is small area. Most of her area in Logan County is the Cashin area, not a really big area. And 5 of 11 precincts are reporting in that one. And she is leading, and I'm not sure if the large precincts are in or not. Let's see, it should be 5 of 11. It is. Okay, so those are the 8 numbers. 5 of 11 precincts, as she's going up against Shay Bracken. Right now, Denise Crosswhite Hayter with 56%. All right, got to check on my Mulhall, friends. Not too many places collect sales tax in Mulhall, but there's a big one up there for sure. Where'd my Mulhall people go? Logan, there we go. Didn't know they had the sales tax on there until a few days ago. I was able to get a story on News Page here pretty quick. And, okay, they're done. So let's add their numbers in here real quick, and we can finalize that. See if there's any comments as we start pretty close to wrapping this one up. I said 8:30, and they were in by 8:15, so I was off 15 minutes this year. I'll try to be better next time. 30 and 9. Okay, so the sales tax proposition, I think it's the next one on the scrolling here. Make sure it's right. 1 of 1 precinct. Oh, no, it's District 2 County Commissioner. I think it should have updated by now. Yep. No, that's not right. Don't look at that. That graphic is wrong. The yes has it. 76.92. Was that right? 76.292? No, that graphic's wrong. It passes. Town of Mulhall will have a 1% increase. I forgot that bottom one's rolling, so let me reverse the numbers so the graphic is not wrong. Oh, I put it in wrong. I had the no and yes backwards. Yes is on top, no's on bottom. And I did ask Shalene at the Logan County Election Board who is in order on the ballot so I can have easier numbers, and I just goofed up my own self. There we go. There, now the graphic is right. User error. Mulhall, 1% increase. It goes from 3% to 4%. All right. Let's see here. GF Guthrie's got the eyeballs out. I wonder if that's for the, it doesn't show up on there, for the state reps races. Floyd, Zane Wanzer, Floyd will win in August. Luke Young, come on, let's do this in August. Ferguson's votes need to go to Floyd. we'll see if that plays it out. Yeah, if you're and remember during the forum, it was in the opening comments. Charlie said, if you don't find it a way to vote for me, vote for Mike Ferguson. And was that because there's some back and forth between Charlie and Floyd, or was Charlie trying to maybe split the vote between those? Who knows how that was played? I forgot to ask him. I meant to ask him that the other day, but yeah, interesting. And someone help me out. Is the okay? Thank you. Updated here, McCourtney. I couldn't remember what district you is. It's District 13, and the Senator District 13. The senator who's been voted to be the pro temp is still losing his own election. It's 51.49% on Senate District 13. That's it's not surprising that incumbents have lost sometime, but it's the number of those that have lost. Kind of surprising, to be honest with you, on that. But okay, so it sounds like we are getting some final numbers here. On District 33. Let me pull that up to get the official numbers here. Okay, I'm not getting an updated one here. So let me go to this one here for the state reps here, 33. Okay. Yeah, it's still, I see 33. It has updated a little bit here, 13 of 18. Getting reports that Representative John Talley may have lost the election. We still got 13 of 18, so it's unofficial on here yet, but that's the word that I'm getting, and it kind of looks that way just because of the numbers, the difference right now, and how many precincts are still left. In that one, remember, District 2 County Commissioner Floyd had led the entire night till the very last precinct come in. Of course, it just depends on when they come in. So, but throughout the entire night, Floyd was winning until that last one came in. So that's exactly what State Rep John Talley is hoping that comes through. We'll see officially here. But in case you missed it at the beginning, Sheriff Damon Devereaux, County Clerk Troy Cole, and State Representative Colin Duell all were up for election this year. They did not draw an opponent, and so they will continue another term for their office. So congratulations to them. I've never run for office, but I can tell you when you watching others when you don't draw opponent is a big, huge sigh of relief, because campaigning is not easy to do, especially if you have multiple districts. The court clerks have the entire county to campaign, whereas District 1 County Commissioner, District 2 County 3, they have districts. They have different districts. Court clerk, county clerk, sheriff, they got the entire county. Then you get into the state reps, they have multiple counties. So they have a much harder job campaigning. Of course, that doesn't get into the Corporation Commission and all the statewide elections there. But all right, Senate District 13, see if this is updated here. Greg McCourtney still trails it with the latest numbers. Appreciate the update here. This allows me to look at other things. Yeah, so McCourtney right now still trending by about 200, a little over 200 votes, and that is with 3 precincts left. And again, I don't know the size of those precincts down there in that area, but the appointed Greg McCourtney for the Speaker Pro Tem might not have a appointment after this election. Surprising. I wonder, there was a big thing in the Senate, not to get into the weeds here, but there was a big back and forth of who should be the Speaker Pro Tem, and there was some lobbyists, or so-called lobbyists, or they don't call themselves, but anyway, there was a back and forth on that. And so I wonder if there was how much campaign money contributions went to Jonathan Wingard, or how that played out. So that'd be interesting. I might have to look that up a little bit later on when I get home. So let's see here, any comments? Kevin, watching on Facebook, thank you, Kevin. Still said that people don't run. I understand why it's so invasive these days. Yeah, and that's why I talked about it earlier with the court clerks for putting their name out there. And, Janice had a hard time getting votes ultimately here. I think she was just up against a very strong person who has gone through this before. This is Janice's first time, and Janice would be a great court clerk. But it takes a lot of backbone and to definitely run. So kudos to all these people for filing, and including our District 2 county commissioners. Some are more comfortable with it. Some have done it their entire life, so it comes natural to them. And some people love that, and some people, don't like the political parts behind it, especially when you get into county government. It's the back and forth that came up at the forum is, if you're elected sheriff, does that mean you're a political figure? There are sheriffs who go political, and there's some who don't. But I guess it's just up to that specific person or that specific office if they want to make it political or not. Some do, some don't. To each their own. That's one of the things I really like about city councils and Guthrie school boards is they're nonpartisan, and very rarely, very, very rarely, not hardly at all. I say that, hopefully that, but you don't see the politics come in at those boards at all. And that's the intent of that. So they do a good job of that. Okay, let's do a big refresh here, real quick here. If you're just tuning in, District 2 Commissioner is in a runoff. Charlie Meadows and Floyd Kaufman will go on August 27th. Floyd led the entire night until that final 11th of the 11th precinct came in, and Charlie clipped Floyd by 9 total votes. So they'll run off in August. We'll see what Mike Ferguson wants to do if he endorses. So there are 308 voters out there that can go out and vote. Well, now the runoff probably won't be as many votes here. So Floyd's camp and Charlie's camp are going to have to get folks out to vote. Court clerk, there are the final numbers there. Cheryl led the entire way with just over 78% of the vote. District 32, the chairman of the A and B is going to have to go to a runoff. And to be honest with you, there's 633 votes out there, but I think Kevin Wallace, well, I don't know if this to be a fact, but might be happy there was a third candidate who filed. Who knows what happened if that third candidate, Jason Schilling, was not there tonight, what would happen there? So Kevin Wallace's camp is going to have to readjust and figure out a new way from here in August to turn that around. District 33, 13 of the 18 are reporting in this one. I'll try to do an update here real quick as I talk about Molly Jenkins. From my understanding, I've not met her yet. Probably need to here soon. But Molly Jenkins, from what I've been told, lives out in eastern Logan County. And this has now been updated. So let me update this here real quick. 15 of the 18 precincts are reporting in this one here. And Molly Jenkins just continues to up the win. So I mentioned earlier there was a source saying that Molly Jenkins had won. And with these latest numbers here, it's almost certain that Molly Jenkins will win. Senate District 33 as the incumbent, as we wait the numbers to come in. Those are not official yet. Just let that, it'll be official when John Talley has 1,271 votes. just the system has to upgrade here in just a few seconds here. As soon as I take it off, it'll update. There we go. Those are the latest right there, 15 of 18. And Molly with about nearly 500 vote advantage. That is 33, 38. John Pfeiffer, 71% of the vote, as he will now go to November against the one Democrat who filed. And I didn't write his name down, but I can tell you his name is Doyle Lewis. Doyle Lewis. Again, I think he's from Garfield County, if I remember correctly. And 8 of 11. Okay, let's go here. Let me get this number in here real quick on District 41. These numbers take just a few seconds to go from here to there, so that's why it takes a few. So they might look a little goofy at Denise Crosswhite Hater, I'll go ahead and verbalize this as the graphics update here in just a second. Looks like she has a little over 200 vote advantage, so it's still probably a little too early to call this for sure with 3 precincts out. Let's see if this is in here yet. Yeah, 8 out of 11. Yeah, those numbers are correct on the screen. And she leads it. I would probably say she will probably go on and win it, but there are 3 precincts, and I don't know if there's 300 votes or 1,000 votes or 3 votes out there. I'm not sure what's left in that race there. Again, Denise Crosswhite Hater, her little small part of Logan County is in the Cashin area. Okay, also getting a report that McCourtney will lose his race. So the Senate pro tem elected or voted pro tem. Looks like it's not going to make it to that appointment. Let's see here, 13, and 56 of 59 reporting there, and still about a 200 vote difference in that one. All right, any comments? I think this one's, yeah, Jib Guthrie says it. Wow, 9 votes. Every vote matters. And there's no doubt, man, there have been some close races in city of Guthrie races and county commissioner races. I remember Marvin Goodman and Mark Sharpton were within single digits, if I remember correctly. And there, G.F. Guthrie's talking about the 9-vote difference. But both are moving on to the primary runoff. Graphic is incorrect for District 33. Is that because the graphic was slow? I think it was because the graphic was slow. I've had 2 people tell me that. So I did remember seeing it being wrong, but that's just because the computer hadn't updated. But I will definitely make sure right now to make sure we're all on the same page here, because it is important. Don't want to be wrong. Okay, so 33, Molly Jenkins, 1721. John Talley, 1271, 57.52, and 42,448. Okay, so they're mentioned earlier. I just want to make sure those are correct there. Number, it just took a second for the graphic. Yeah. Sorry about that. That's why I always take the numbers off, and because sometimes it updates within a second, sometimes it updates slower. So okay. So the only ones that we're officially waiting for is District 33, Molly Jenkins and John Talley. District 41, Denise Crosswhite-Hader and Shay Bracken, excuse me. Those are the only ones that we're waiting for. Let's go real quick on the state races here real quick. And if you want to hang out a few moments, I can talk to you after. I'll wrap up here in just a few seconds here. Okay, Corporation Commissioner. And it was a three-person race: Brian Bingham, Russell Ray, and Justin Hornback. And Brian Bingham, with 89% of the vote in, has 53% of the votes. So that's the case. 50% plus one, he would be going to the November against the Democrat and Libertarian in that race. Corporation Commission, by the way, is a 6-year term. Bob Anthony was termed out. And the general election will be November 5th this year. Take office in January. I got a bunch of notes on here. I won't bore you with those. I did a lot of homework on it, and there's some interesting stuff on there, but I'm probably not where you guys want to hear that tonight. But it's very important. A lot of people don't know about the Corporation Commission, but it's a very, very important spot. Kevin Hearn, U.S. Rep, almost 87% of the vote. That is unheard of. That's crazy. Frank Lucas, 73% of the vote tonight. With 93% of those votes in, he will move on. Tom Cole. This was another interesting one here when you look at this state District 4. Tom Cole against Paul Bondar, who has Paul Bondar, a lot of talk about living in Texas, moved up here to get a residency to file. Paul Bondar was endorsed by the State Superintendent of Education, Ryan Walters, but Tom Cole is going to get 64% of the vote. Paul Bondar, 25% of the vote. No surprise there. Tom Cole has a big part of the budget negotiations in Washington, D.C., and he gets 64% of the vote. Just going over some of the highlights here. District 13, still Greg McCourtney, still trailing that one to about 3 precincts left. And we'll look one more time at the state reps. I want to make sure nothing has changed. There has been one change on District 33, which is Tally. Again, sources have told me that Molly Jenkins has won this race, and her numbers continue to get bigger and bigger. So it is probably safe to say that Molly Jenkins has won this election. With just 2 precincts out, I'm waiting for these numbers to hopefully update. It should be 16 of 18. It should be 42%. Yep, those numbers are right. So it does look like Molly Jenkins will be the next state rep for District 33. District 38 is finalized. John Pfeiffer winning that one. And then I will verbalize District 41 for the final time here tonight. Still 8 of 11, so these numbers here are still the most updated numbers there. So that is primary election. Won't have all the final numbers here for this live show, but I will have an article on Guthrie News Page tonight or tomorrow with all the final numbers, and I will try to break down the county District 2 race a little bit closer as well. Take a look at those numbers as we await that runoff. I want to say a big, big thank you to all of our great viewers out there. You guys make this night go on. I know I just kind of ramble, talk, but all the comments and all the nice things you guys have said, appreciate that, and it really does help make it a little bit a fun process to have some back and forth. So we're going to come back here in August and do this all over again. We know we'll have a school bond election for Guthrie Public Schools, and we know we'll have a runoff for District 2 County Commissioner. And we'll have a little bit of a slice of the runoff for, I always get District 32 and 33 confused. District 32 coming up here in August. So just a couple of programming notes here. The legislative luncheon for the Chamber of Commerce will be next Tuesday. And let me make sure we get that right here. Next Tuesday at 11:30. If you'd like to go to that, you can go to the Guthrie Chamber of Commerce website and get your ticket there. I know Representative Colin Duell will be there. Representative John Talley has said he will be there. Looking to book some others as well. So be sure to do that at the Guthrie Chamber website for the legislative luncheon. That will be held at Meridian Technology Center. Thank you to all the folks with the text messages for some help behind the scenes on some numbers. Big thank you for that as always. That'll do it here on election night. We'll do it again in August. Everyone have a great rest of your week.